And now, with all the stories making the headlines here and around the world, it's the ITV News.
The leader of Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party resigns after being charged with historical sexual offences. Sir Geoffrey Donaldson's Northern Ireland's longest-serving MP. His departure could have huge implications for Stormont's power-sharing governments.
I think it's been a devastating revelation and has caused tremendous shock.
Also tonight, a former sub-postmaster tells us of his outrage after ITV News has given audio of the meeting where the post office's boss was told of the problems with Horizon, years before they admitted it. Downing Street sparks an honours row after a major Conservative Party donor receives a knighthood. The microchipping reforms that could lead to a crackdown on pet thefts. And the former Welsh rugby star now signed for the back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
This is ITV News with Gamal Fahnbulleh.
Good evening. Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, the leader of Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party, has resigned after being charged with historical sexual offences. He has led his party for more than 2 years. The DUP say he has been suspended pending the outcome of the judicial process. A new interim leader has already been appointed. Ian Woods has the latest.
The resignation was sudden and unexpected. It comes just 2 months after arguably the most significant moment of Sir Geoffrey Donaldson's political career, when he persuaded his reluctant party to end their boycott of Stormont and return to sharing power with Sinn Féin. He's only been the leader of the Democratic Unionist Party for 3 years, but he's been an MP for a quarter of a century and came to prominence by opposing the Good Friday Agreement.
That's what we think of the framework document.
Overnight, his social media accounts vanished, and at lunchtime the DUP confirmed he'd resigned after being charged by the police. The allegations are of a sexual nature, and he'll appear in court next month alongside a woman who's accused of aiding and abetting the alleged offences. The party has suspended his membership and moved quickly to appoint one of his supporters as interim party leader.
I think it's been a devastating revelation and has caused tremendous shock, not just for myself personally or my colleagues within the DUP, but for the community right across Northern Ireland. It came as a great shock.
The Northern Ireland Assembly...
Sir Geoffrey opted to stay as a Westminster MP rather than serve as a member of the Northern Ireland Assembly. So in theory, the resignation shouldn't impact power sharing. But Stormont deals are often fragile. One of his allies, Emma Little-Pengelly, became the Deputy First Minister. She's formed a working partnership with Sinn Féin's Michelle O'Neill. But many in the DUP opposed the newly negotiated post-Brexit arrangements. And a leadership contest could reopen that debate. Ian Woods, ITV News.
Well, UTV's political editor Tracy McGee is in Belfast for us tonight. And Tracy, this was a big surprise. What political reaction has there been?
Well, look, in terms of this story, it has been absolutely jaw-dropping, not only in terms of the speed, but also its potential political consequences. For the DUP, the priority is going to be steadying the ship. They are a completely Conservative party, and so this news has been the darkest of days for the party. Gavin Robinson will be seen as something of a continuity leader. He was close to Sir Geoffrey Donaldson when they negotiated the deal with the government. For the other parties, the priority will be to ensure that Stormont, which is counting its life now in weeks, does not suffer as a result of what has happened. Now, I can tell you that the First Minister Michelle O'Neill has spoken to all the party leaders, including interim leader Gavin Robinson. All have committed to ensuring Stormont's stability. But I do have to say, for Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, who now faces numerous charges, including one of rape, today means that his political and personal life lies in tatters.
Tracy in Stormont, thank you. A former sub-postmaster prosecuted over the Horizon post office scandal says he is shocked and devastated after ITV News was given audio of a meeting where the former chief executive was told of problems with the computer system. During the meeting with independent investigators from Second Sight in 2013, they warned the post office not to cover up the problems. Martha Fairley reports.
For years, the Post Office denied there was an issue with its Horizon software, only admitting in 2019 that Fujitsu workers at their headquarters in Bracknell could access sub-postmasters' accounts remotely. But we now know Post Office Chief Executive Paula Venables was told in 2013 during a meeting secretly recorded with Ron Warmington and Ian Henderson from Second Sight Forensic Accountants.
Just to let you know, Paula has now joined us. The call is
Hi, Ian.
Yeah, hi, Paula.
Hi, Paula.
Hi, Ron.
In the meeting, they warn against any public denial that remote access is possible.
The last thing you want is a spot review response that says categorically there was no access to live data from Bracknell if in a week's time some bloody whistleblower pipes up to say, well, actually I was working on the second floor and we routinely did X.
Former sub-postmaster Vijay Parekh was sentenced to 18 months after being wrongly convicted of stealing £78,000.
Shocked and devastated, to tell you the truth. They've ruined my life and the sub-postmasters, for 900 of them. And it's just taking too long now to get to the bottom of this.
In 2015, Paula Venables told a committee of MPs she knew of no miscarriages of justice.
They spent £100 million of taxpayers' money to defend a case which was mainly, the main arguments for their defence was that this couldn't be a system that could be remotely accessed. So they knew before that, but prepared to use that tsunami of cash basically to stop the truth coming out.
Former Post Office boss Paula Venables has not responded. The Post Office and accountants in the secret recordings say they can't comment due to the ongoing public inquiry. Martha Fairley, ITV News.
Labour has accused Prime Minister Rishi Sunak of showing a blatant disrespect for the office after one of the Conservative Party's biggest donors was awarded a knighthood. Businessman Mohamed Mansour, who gave £5 million to the party last year, was given the honour for business, charity and political service. David Wood is in Downing Street for us this evening. And David, this announcement from Number 10 was pretty unexpected, wasn't it?
That's right. We normally expect honours lists to come out in the new year and at the King's birthday, which isn't until June. But sources here say there needed to be some additions to the Privy Council, which advises the King directly. It needs to include, amongst others, the new Welsh First Minister, and that gave an opportunity for a slightly wider honours list. It includes some members of the British film industry, for example. But it's 5 political gongs attracting the most attention, as you say, in particular the one for Mohamed Mansour, who is a Conservative Party donor, donating £5 million to the party last year. He's also one of the party's treasurers. And sources inside the party, they were stressing about his charitable work, helping the King's Foundation, formerly known as the Prince's Foundation, and also raising money for a COVID memorial. 4 Conservative MPs have also picked up gongs today, and Labour isn't impressed.
Now, it seems that the Prime Minister is either incredibly arrogant and he feels like it doesn't matter what the public thinks, or perhaps he's demob happy, believes that he's on his way out. Either way, clearly his actions are not ones that are going to be increasing trust in politics with this latest honours list, and particularly with the honour that's been bestowed on Mr Mansour.
And there's been similar criticism as well from other opposition parties, including the Lib Dems and Reform UK. The Prime Minister advises the King on awarding these honours, and even within Rishi Sunak's own party, there are some who question the logic of this Easter list.
OK, David in Downing Street, thank you. An investigation's underway in South Africa into what caused a bus to plunge 50 metres off a bridge into a ravine, killing 45 people. The only survivor was an 8-year-old girl who was seriously injured. The bus was carrying worshippers from neighbouring Botswana to an Easter church gathering. And the largest crane on the eastern United States seaboard has arrived in Baltimore as a massive cleanup effort gets underway after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The cleanup of the debris is expected to take several weeks. Now, every year, tens of thousands of pets go missing, and while most are reunited with their owners, many aren't. The RSPCA says that's because a large number of them don't have the correct microchip details, as Amy Lewis now explains.
There is a little whining and lots of waiting. 5,000 dogs and cats end up at Battersea's rescue centre every year. Many are abandoned, but some are pets who cannot be reunited with their owners because they haven't been microchipped.
We receive over 1,000 animal missing reports each year, and it's very distressing for those owners. It's effectively a member of their family who they don't know where they've gone, so it's heartbreaking.
There are 18 million pet dogs and cats in England. There has been a 40% increase in the number of strays in the past year. The RSPCA say that's partly down to the cost of living crisis. 80% of them don't have the right microchip details, so fewer are being reunited with their owners. A new system is being introduced to change that. A new central database has been established, and for the first time it means that vets, charities and police can share information about who owns a pet. The changes should also reduce the number of pets that are stolen in the future. The system will flag if new owners are attempting to register a pet that's missing or has been stolen. The current owner will have 28 days to object.
Anything to make that system easier and reduce the burden on local authorities and rescues, who frankly are inundated with too many cats and dogs at the moment, is a good idea.
By law, all pet dogs must already be microchipped, and from June it will be the same for cats. The aim is for fewer pets to end up at places like Battersea and instead be where they belong. Amy Lewis, ITV News.
Louis Gossett Jr., the first black man to win the Best Supporting Actor Oscar, has died aged 87.
Be proud of them wings. They're the only ones you're going to leave here with. Mayonnaise.
The American actor won the Academy Award in 1982 for his role in An Officer and a Gentleman. Gossett also won an Emmy in 1978 for his role in the groundbreaking series Roots. In 2010, he announced that he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, finally this evening, in the last few minutes, it's been confirmed that the former Wales rugby star Lewis Rhys-Zammit has won a contract with one of American football's biggest teams. In January, the 23-year-old announced a shock switch to the NFL. Now he secured a 3-year deal with the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's Chris Scudder.
He was one of the rising stars of international rugby.
Race lightning!
But less than 3 months ago, Lewis Rhys-Zammit sent shockwaves through Wales by announcing he was quitting the game on the eve of the Six Nations to follow his dream of making it among the glamour of American football's NFL. But there were no guarantees. The 23-year-old had to battle his way through the NFL's tough training school for overseas hopefuls, the international player pathway.
I think the hardest challenge is probably my body's obviously not used to running full pace and then trying to, stop. At the end of the day, all of us want to play in the NFL, and if we can help one of the boys do that, then that's going to be extra special.
And now he's done it, catching the eye of the most glamorous team of the lot, the Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, which means the lightning-quick former wing really could be a Swiftie, rubbing shoulders with Taylor Swift and her Chiefs boyfriend Travis Kelce, along with American football's star quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
This would be a really big deal. They are one of the best teams overall. He would most likely play in preseason. Now, this happens towards the end of July, and it's the few weeks that lead up to the start of the season. But this is a great opportunity to get those second, third, fourth string guys onto the field. We saw it in the past with Christian Wade. He took off and had a really big highlight play. So this could be the same opportunity for Louis Rhys-Zammit.
Using his speed and ball-catching ability, the former rugby poster boy could turn into a returner or wide receiver, or maybe still not make it onto the field at all, but signing a reported 3-year contract with the Chiefs.
Hi Chiefs Kingdom, Lewis Rhys-Zammit here. Just signed, can't wait to go and see you all at Arrowhead.
He's passed the first test, ready for liftoff, then touchdown with American football's jet set. Chris Scudder, ITV News.
Yeah, a great opportunity indeed. Best of luck to Lewis. That is it. I'll be back with the late news just after 10:20. Until then, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.